Good evening, everyone. I'll just give you a brief introduction of our company and my background, which will probably encourage many of you to venture into restaurants if you're not into restaurants currently. So I am an automobile engineer by education. I worked for General Motors, followed by McKinsey and Company as a management consultant, and then took a leap into restaurant business. The first venture that I started was in 2012. The restaurant was called Goodies in Ahmedabad. Currently, it has 9 operational outlets between Ahmedabad and Baroda. It has limited scope of further scalability because of how the entire structuring and designing of the menu was initially done, and it was irreversible to probably go back to the drawing board and try to change a few things. In 2013, early 2013, I saw an opportunity in one of the quick service restaurant chains coming up in Gujarat called Kachhi King. We basically served Indian street food out of 200 to 300 square feet premise. And I took equity in the company when there were 18 outlets, and we grew it to 209 outlets. And I took an exit in October 2015, almost before a year ago. And currently they are at 228 outlets. They are expanding outside of Gujarat and probably outside of India as well very soon. So after taking an exit from Kachhi King, Kachhi King was a very, very good experience. And I think the subject that we are talking about is that how can we franchise to accelerate the growth? So, I've learned it firsthand. What are the pros and cons of franchise? We'll only talk about pros today of franchise because we are using franchise as a tool to grow the business. So, we'll rather talk about what I learned and where I went wrong in Goodies as far as franchising was concerned. And why I took an exit from Kachhi King. I took an exit from Kachhi King because I thought it had certain limitations of scalability beyond a point, and I got a good opportunity. And I wanted to do something, design something now after the learnings which can be scalable. So I'll just run you through a brief, it's a coffee table book that we have created for my current brand, Genuine Roasted Chicken. So I started Yellow Dye Hospitality with an intention of creating or making a portfolio of around 8 to 10 F&B brands, and we are a franchise management company. So we are never going to open our own outlet probably, and we are only going to franchise our outlet and manage the outlets, which means that we are very convinced about the growth of brands through franchisee. We are very convinced about that if designed and managed well, the sustainability of franchisee grown brand is a long-term sustainability. So we have in-house expertise of the following, which will also probably help you to understand that what are the capabilities we need to have as a franchise management company, or even if you are getting into franchising after having your own stores. So we have capabilities starting from menu engineering. When we talk about menu engineering, we have learned a lot from chefs before a couple of sessions also. So our menu engineering is a little, I wouldn't say deeper, but it has a dynamic of scalability to it. So we also want to design products that are innovative, that are tasty, that taste fresh per se. But then we also have a parameter of scalability that we need to gauge the product on. So let's say for an example, if you have an Indian gravy, you want Indian gravy to be served same in all the outlets. So whether that Indian gravy is scalable, whether it is scalable through a retort packaging, whether it is scalable through a frozen packaging, and if it is scalable, whether the economics of logistics and supply chain make it a merit situation for it to be on the menu or not, depending on the food cost and the selling price. So, there is a lot of menu engineering capability that is required with a dimension of scalability, logistics, supply chain, frozen, and the costings attached to it. We also have an in-house capability of design and contracting. So we have in-house projects team, we have in-house designers and draftsmen, which means that the moment we get a franchise locked, we take over the outlet, we do their AutoCAD, which is the basic measurements of the outlet. We do their 3D renderings, which shows how the outlet is going to look like. We release the working drawings, which are basically elevations. And then we have our own team that goes there and does the turnkey contracting in around 45 to 75 days, depending on the size of premise and the condition of premise at the time of possession. And when I say contracting, we make sure that we hand over the keys of shutter to the franchise, and when he opens the shutter, the AC is running, the internet is running, the TV is running with a DTH connection, so it is fully loaded outlet. Why we do it? Because number one, we want our outlets to be standardized. Number two, we want our outlets to start in a particular time frame. and we don't want any cutting corners from franchise. So that's our side of merit, and why we do it for franchisee is because they don't have to get into headache of contracting and dealing with all the plumbers, contractors, making sure that everything is executed as per drawing, so on and so forth. So I think projects is one capability that you need to build up, maybe not in a very aggressive manner that we have built up right now, but at least some kind of a third-party designer or a third-party contracting doing it for you initially, and then probably you can have in-house capability of all these functions. We have a capability of training, which means training and hand-holding is what we call it. So we go to outlets before 2 to 3 weeks of the projected launch date. We have 3 trainers in each outlet. One is front of the house trainer, one is the kitchen trainer, and one is the soft skills trainer, which basically talks about how to talk to guests and how to do your marketing, and he helps to do tie-ups with your dine-outs and Swiggies and Food Pandas and any digital media around. So basically these 3 people go there, they train the franchisee. We make sure that the franchise owner himself is getting trained, and once the training is done, they launch the outlet, they handhold for another 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a turnkey 6 to 8 weeks project where our team goes to each franchise and trains and handholds them. So training is one capability that is very important to build up. The next capability that we have built up is brush up trainings and audit. So I have combined these 2 capabilities right now. In future, I would like to probably have a separate department looking after brush up trainings and audits, which is basically auditing the outlets time to time and checking whether they are following the standards set by us and brushing up them on various subjects where there are guest complaints coming up often. So these are the basic capabilities besides a lot of core functions like marketing, social media, software IT. We have an app which is a franchise management app. The day we sign the agreement with the franchise, he gets the app and he can track his project. There are 50 milestones which he can track on the app, that if I finish this particular milestone or recruitment by this date, when can I launch my outlet? So he has a very clear picture on how much time each process is going to take before the launch of outlet. That app also has all the updated standard operating process and recipe cards. So any moment of time, if there is a customer complaint, I can refer to a SOP, I can refer to the possible cause of complaints, possible root causes and the solutions of that complaint. So that is the kind of support we are providing to franchisees, and that's why we are pretty confident that the growth through franchising will be sustainable. Coming back to Broster is our first brand. It's an American brand, 60-year-old brand, present in 36 countries. What we took from them is the technology that they have, which is a technology of a pressure fryer. So they own the patent of this equipment, wherein if you fry the chicken, it utilizes 50% lesser oil and retains more chicken moisture. So around this technology, we created a concept of or a theme of American soul, Indian heart. So the brand is American, but we wanted to give Indian soul to our outlets, and hence we did a lot of things in all the aspects of outlets, starting from how the disposables would look like, our communications would look like. Naturally, food philosophy is also around this theme. For emphasizing on that, we pulled in Chef Harpal Singh Sokhi, whom we recently saw in Jhalak Dikla Ja, and there cannot be more Indian looking chef than him. And we have come up with products like lamb Rogan Josh burgers, Palak Paneer burgers, Gulkand muffin, chocolate samosa with mango ice cream, which not only sound innovative, but are very tasty from the perspective that they are staple. So when you eat a lamb Rogan Josh burger, you know the taste, that the taste is acquired. You have just replaced the roti with the burger bun. So we wanted to give something which is very staple, but yet innovative. We wanted the packaging to be Western, that's why a burger, but we wanted the core or the soul to be Indian, that's why lamb Rogan Josh or Palak Paneer. We also have a Desi Chinese Szechuan noodle burger. So, there are such items in the menu. So even our interiors, I'll show you some pictures. It goes with the philosophy of American soul, Indian art. So when we talk about a brand and when we talk about franchising it, we really need to take care of all of these support functions first. Also, we need to get ready for a franchisable brand, which means that brand should have some kind of a differentiator wherever it goes, because we are not talking about a brand that is going to be only in Bangalore or tomorrow only in Hyderabad or maybe in south, but we are talking about a brand which can open in northeast or Jammu Kashmir or anywhere. So it needs to have a differentiating appeal everywhere, which might not be fully possible, but you definitely need to make sure that in the market that it goes, it is not one of those stores that has opened. So we launched the marketing of Broster in January this year, and today we are almost 25 outlets in fit-outs. We are 4 operational outlets at Mumbai, Raipur, Surat, and Kolkata, and we are opening from length and breadth of country. We are also opening outlets in Impal, Gangtok, Lucknow, Delhi. So all I'm trying to tell you is that because of our previous learnings, we could make this model franchisable because of various capabilities that I shared with you. And today, if we get an inquiry from northeastern part of India, for which we need to basically cross Bangladesh and go, even then we are not scared that how are we going to maintain the standards, because again, getting back to the discussion, I have my own contracting capability, so we are sure that our outlets are going to look similar. All our uniforms, crockery, cutlery, disposables go from one place, so that looks similar. Our training is done by the same trainer, so training is standardized. I mean, the way you are greeted, way guest is greeted when he enters, is standardized across all the outlets. Our recipes and ingredients are sourced from common vendors across India, and through a third-party logistic, they are transported to everywhere in India at the same price, which means that it is the guy who buys in Mumbai, my franchise, and the franchise that buys in Impal for Gangtok is buying at the same price. So their food costing is very, very standardized. So because we could make our model franchisable from day one, we are today not hesitant in taking or closing a franchise in any part of country. So these are the basic things which I learned from my previous experiences, and we have implemented in genuine roasted chicken. And as far as our information says, and as far as international brands are concerned, I think we would be the fastest growing brand ever in India. There is no international brand that would open, say, probably 25 outlets in first 1 year of its launch. I mean, we might open even 30, 35. So from August to next August 17, we might be maybe 40 outlets plus. So I think we are the fastest growing international brand as far as my information tells me. But all this is possible only because we have tried to make the model franchisable from day one. We have tried to make model not only franchisable but a sustainable franchisable model, so that the franchisee does not face a lot of issues during day-to-day operations. The franchisee does not get a lot of inconsistency issues. The franchisee does not have to recruit a very skilled manpower at their outlet, and hence they are not dependent on the labor that they recruit, and the huge concern over the turnaround rate in the industry also gets solved. We also give them a software which basically helps them to track, analyze the sales, what is moving fast in their store versus average of all the outlets. So they can also get learning that, for example, lamb rogan josh is the highest moving burgers in all the outlets, but in their outlet it is not moving at all. So there are high probability chances that they are not pushing it. So that can give them a lead that they should focus on products which are with a better food cost and which guests are probable to appreciate more. So we have backed them with a lot of support. We have a complaint tracking system online, wherein depending on the nature of complaint, we have defined the closure time, 48 hours, 72 hours, and if it is not closed in that duration of time, that complaint directly comes to my app. So I personally look into all the complaints. So this is the kind of support system we are trying to build up, so that the franchises become sustainable. They don't have to waste their time in reinventing the things for which they are actually paying you in terms of franchise fee and royalty. They need to get the worth of why they are paying you by such kind of support system, so that your model itself becomes sustainable. So I think I've tried to cover more or less everything on the aspect that if one has to make a model franchisable, what are the things that we should look into. So now I'll just very, very quickly breeze through what we have tried to do in Broster, and probably you'll be able to relate on various things that I just shared with you. So yeah, like I told you, we are American soul, Indian heart, and that's our fried chicken. It looks almost like KFC, but has 50% lesser oil than KFC, and or any other fried chicken in the market, only because of the technology that we have. And it utilizes, because of certain physics involved in it, it utilizes, it retains 20% more chicken moisture. So, I was talking about a product differentiator. So this is my product differentiator. If I have to open in Impal for Gangtok or Kanyakumari or Jammu, I know that this is not going to be a product already available there, and this is not going to be a product which anyone else can also give. So I have one product differentiator. So we work very closely with our franchises as far as promotions are concerned. Now, she is a very popular Bengali actress called Paulie Dam. She was invited during the inauguration of our Kolkata outlet. So this is the equipment I'm talking about. That's the history. That's about us. So Chef Harpal, like I told you, these are his products. So we have a Szechuan noodle burger. We have a lamb Rogan Josh burger, which is in red bun. So it looks quite quirky, attractive to eyes. Then we have Palak Paneer burger, which is in green bun. It is symbolic of the fact that it is vegetarian, because India is quite sensitive towards veg and non-veg, and being a broiler chicken as a brand, we didn't want to confuse people by directly advertising that we also serve veg, but we wanted to subtly put across that we are very strong as far as, and we are very serious about our veg food. So this is symbolic of that. This small things subconsciously help in making a brand's impression in customers' mind. Then we have a variety of fried chicken called Happy Fried Chicken, which is Chef Harpal special, and we have a Gulkand muffin, which is basically a muffin filled with Gulkand, which in South probably Gulkand is not very popular, but in West and North, a lot of people eat pan after their meal. So this is a Western replacement of pan, so to say. So this is how our outlet looks like. Very old school, like a neighborhood American cafe. And again, it speaks the theme of American soul, Indian art. If you see, there are black and white checkered tiles, and then there is Nimbada stone, which is available only in Jodhpur. It is not available anywhere else in world. We have used that. We have a regional signage, if you see on the right hand side on the pole. So it speaks of the brand in the regional language. We have the sacks mounted on ceiling. There are chicken stories written on the ceiling. So it is very, very comfort neighborhood kind of a cafe, which would probably appeal to anyone or any part of India. So we have not tried to make it very, very specific. So if you see, there are baseball helmets in which we have put lighting fixtures. So it is quite refreshing. So those are our products, and like I told you, we need to work hand in hand with franchisee, which means as a brand we need to spend extensively, heavily on advertisement, brand building, media, marketing, social media. So there are a lot of coverages, and we work very, very closely with press, media, and anywhere we open. So this is our growth story so far. We have opened 4 outlets. There are almost 23 other outlets that are under development across India. In South, we have been a little relatively weak. Hyderabad, we are opening 2 outlets, but very soon we'll be opening in Bangalore and Chennai also. So those are our other items that we serve in. We have 2 formats. So we have a format in which we serve alcohol and sit down, and another is a quick service restaurant format. So we serve products like fish, keema pav. There's a category called Franchos, which is basically French fries with a lot of sauces on top. McDonald's has started to serve this. This is basically called poutine in Canada. So it's picking up quite nicely. And then we have a Szechuan noodle burger in which we actually put noodles. So this is how our designing looks like. So on the left, you see how our QSR, quick service restaurant menus look like. They are again very retro American, not very conventional like McDonald's, KFC. So I don't say it's good or bad, but it's different. It's refreshing for guests to appreciate and notice. And if you see, our packaging is also again very old school. We have hand-drawn caricatures. If you see, notice French fries. So there is a sack of potatoes from which a potato is flying, and it's converting to a fries and dipping into a sauce ball. So it's very, very basic and hand-drawn. And if you see burger box, on top of it, we have drawn entire process of how a burger is made. So from a cow, how cheese is made, from vegetables, how a patty is made, so on and so forth. And then there are hand-drawn lines of orange colors. So basically, again, these are how our other creatives look like. So all I'm trying to tell is that when we create a brand which is scalable, a brand needs to speak a story so that people in various places wherever it is scaled understand and relate to the brand. They are attached to the brand. If it is just a hollow brand that you are trying to present with some kind of nice packaging, it might not last long. I'm not sure whether this will last long or not, but I have learned this from my previous experiences, and we are hoping and we are getting a very, very good initial feed for this brand. So we keep on doing a lot of activities with Chef Harpal, bloggers. If you see our glassware, it is pretty quirky. Again, we have cut these Sprite bottles and Thumbs Up bottles and a lot of alcohol bottles and converted to beverages glass. Our plates are those animal plates, and those mugs that we used to see in movies where in army people used to use those mugs. So it has a little bit of nostalgia, again very old school. These are the other pictures. In a short duration of 1 year, we have won 2 awards. We owe everything to our franchisees who have given a very good regard to our support system, and they have put trust in us. So yeah, that's it. So that's Broster, and I tried to share whatever little I have learned in this industry from my previous 2 brands, that if you want your brand to be scalable, what are the various basic parameters that one needs to take care of.